All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to tear down some of the biggest myths in athletic training, all based on the fantastic work of Coach Nicholas Serenati. We're going to talk about the huge difference between true game-winning speed and what's often just conditioning theater. You know, those drills that look amazing but don't actually help you win.
And this quote from Coach Serenati just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? I mean, we've all seen it. The super flashy drills, the fancy cone work, all that stuff that gets thousands of likes on social media. But here's the hard truth. If that training doesn't show up on game day when the pressure's on, it's basically just noise.
So what even is real speed? Well, it's so much more than just how fast your legs can move. Game speed is really a three-step process. First, you have to perceive the game. You got to see what's happening. Next, you make a quick decision based on what you see. And only then do you finally take action. The truly fastest players, they're elite at that whole sequence, not just the running part.
And that leads us perfectly into our first big truth, which really builds on that idea. Speed isn't just a physical thing, it's a mental one. It all starts with making the right choice and making it faster than your opponent.
This is what we mean by fake speed. You see a player absolutely crushing a cone drill, and it looks incredible, but all they're doing is following a script they've already memorized. Real speed shows up when there is no script, and they have to read, react, and solve the puzzle of the game in real time.
And I absolutely love this line. It just gets right to the heart of it. If the training you're doing doesn't force an athlete to make a choice, to read a cue, to solve a problem, you're not training game speed. You're just doing cardio with cleats on. The big takeaway here is that your training has to be as mentally demanding as the game itself.
Okay, so for our second truth, we're going to tackle one of the most misunderstood and misused words in all of sports training: agility.
This breaks it down perfectly. Over on the left, you've got what most people think is agility training, choreography. Think about agility ladders or those preset cone drills. The athlete knows exactly what to do next. It looks fast for sure, but on the right, that's real agility. It's a pure reaction to something you can't predict, an opponent juking, a ball taking a weird bounce. That's what is fast.
And there you have it. That's the bottom line. For any movement to be truly agile, it has to be a genuine response to a problem you didn't see coming. If there's no unpredictable stimulus, you're just teaching a dance routine, not building a reactive athlete.
So we've talked a lot about the brain's role in speed. For truth number 3, let's get into the physical engine that makes it all possible. Something that gets ignored way too often, especially with younger athletes.
I want you to really think about this for a second. When you see a truly explosive athlete, what's the one physical quality that really truly governs how fast they can be?
And the answer isn't trying hard. It's just physics. Speed, at its core, comes from the amount of force an athlete can put into the ground. It's that simple. A stronger athlete can generate more force, which means they can accelerate quicker and move with more power.
This might be my favorite quote of them all. It's such a powerful analogy. You can borrow speed for a little while, but if you don't have a solid foundation of strength, it's just not sustainable. Strength is the non-negotiable asset. It owns the building that allows an athlete to use their speed over and over again safely.
Okay, so we know that producing force is key to going fast. But what about the other side of that coin? What about absorbing force? This brings us to the part of the equation that almost everyone forgets: hitting the brakes.
Think about it. In pretty much any sport, the game is won or lost in moments that require you to stop on a dime. You've got to slam on the brakes to close down an opponent, to make a sharp cut, or to scramble back on defense. The ability to absorb force is every bit as important as the ability to produce it.
So here it is, plain and simple. Acceleration and deceleration are two sides of the very same coin. A player who can't stop efficiently is a player who's basically out of control. They're slower to react, they're off balance, and they're the ones who lose those crucial one-on-one battles in a game.
Okay, so we've spent a lot of time identifying the problems with how speed is usually trained, so let's flip this around and talk about the solution. What should we be looking for? This brings us to our fourth point, a simple checklist for real player development. But first, we need to understand this really common trap, especially in youth sports. You see these young kids who are just naturally faster than everyone else, and they dominate. But that early speed can actually hide a lot of problems: poor technique, bad decision-making. And then what happens? When everyone else catches up physically, that fast kid gets left behind because they never built the real foundation.
And that is why this checklist is so important. A complete training program isn't just about running sprints. It has to teach an athlete how to move efficiently. It has to build a real foundation of strength. It must master the mechanics of braking. And, tying it all together, it has to force athletes to make decisions while they're tired and under pressure.
So, when you're looking at a training program for yourself or for your kid, try to look past the fancy marketing and the social media hype. Look for the actual substance. Real, lasting athletic development is a slow cook. It's built on solid principles, it's earned in the gym and on the field, not just advertised online.
And that really leaves us with this one final, massive question to think about. What's the real goal here? Is it to build the fastest 9-year-old on the field? Or is it to develop a smart, strong, and resilient athlete who is still getting better and loving the game years and years down the road? That's the question every single coach, parent, and athlete needs to ask.